What's going on, people? Welcome back to Real Red Talk, the authentic football fan channel dedicated to Manchester United. We have got a Rasmus. Here we go. I'm just going to read out the quote from Fabrizio Romano, and then we'll dive into all the kind of individual details and stuff. So, Rasmus Hojlund to Manchester United. Here we go. Agreement reached now with Atlanta. Package will be around 70 million euros with add-ons. Clubs preparing documents in the next 24 hours. Hojlund agreed 5-year deal 10 days ago, as he only wanted Manchester United. Dan, I'll go to you first on this one. Happy it's finally a done deal and we can move on to the next signing?
Yeah, just a moment of relief for us as we have got a striker finally. So I like a proper striker after 2 seasons. So and a young striker, it's been so long. It seems like a song. So yeah, let's get Kane.
Yeah, well, yeah, one can only hope in it for that little bit of sprinkle on
Yeah.
the top. Sam, what do you think Rasmus will bring to Manchester United? What do you like?
Well, it's I think was it Jameson and Mupters, but it's the first time we signed a striker the other side of 30, which is nice. It's
Yeah,
nice to not have a stopgap who's going to last about 2 years before his knees crumble into biscuits,
yeah.
and past his prime. So yeah, that's good. It's a vision for the future. What was his contract? 6 years? 6-year contract?
5-year deal it is, but I think there might be an option for an extra one.
So 6 year, which shows long-term vision, which shows we're going to put investment into in time, which is great because we've not done that since Wayne Rooney. Probably the last one.
Signed before 30 up now. Yeah, let's go way back.
So like it's good. The price is a big price, 70 million euros plus 10, quite a lot. But I think the striker market's weird at the minute. There's not a lot of value in it. There's not a lot of available strikers, and I think if Ten Hag wants him, he's got his man. And we've done a lot of business early, which for United is an absolute first. We've got 3 players in the door, and pre-season's not over yet, so we've done pretty well, I think.
Yeah. Dan, all things considered, you talk about Andre Onana coming in, Mason Mount, and then you've got obviously Rasmus Hojlund. He's talked about Amrabat and maybe potential one more. But are you confident with just Marcus Rashford and Hojlund dovetailing along together for the rest of the season? Do you think we can still win big trophies if it's just them two, between each other?
No, to be honest, I'm still not. Feeling safe with only one striker, that too young, who hasn't yet proved in Premier League. I've said it before that it could be a risk, but calculated risk. But we cannot depend only on Hojlund for that striking role, because that the burden on him will be huge with that price tag and with the nature of the club and everything on back of it. But yeah, to be honest, if we get another striker, then I will feel more safe. Maybe an experience, if you can, maybe 30 plus years old, just for an backup. But to be honest, yeah, to have a striker, I don't feel safe when we play Rashford up front. To be honest, but yeah, now we have Hojlund, and with Rashford starting, maybe they can interchange their positions in between the game. That could maybe benefit us in game play. But at this point, yeah, I'm very happy that we got the striker, a very young striker, talented striker. But then again, I'm not sure we can challenge. Yeah, we are improved. To be honest, if you see the last season when we bought players like Casemiro and Eriksen and other players, they were like total the players who can straight go into the team. And now we have got like Mason Mount and Onana and Hojlund. So these type of players, they go straight into the team that we have. But I would be happy if we get another striker. I know last week uh, we were discussing that Kane might be a crazy deal could still happen if we get the sales like 4 to 5 players out of the club and generate a amount, and there is a slight chance to get Kane. And if we get Kane, then definitely we are challenging for Champions League and Premier League. But with Hojlund, I think, yeah, that's an upgrade for another next season. But it will only take us to next levels in these competitions. But winning the titles, I'm still not sure we can achieve with Hojlund. But yeah, we can go close. We have moved a couple of steps closer to those winning the titles.
Yeah, he must have a lot of faith in Hojlund, Sam. So you're spending that amount of money. I mean, Einstein's just tweeted it there saying 75 million euros plus 10 add-ons. That's a lot of fucking money for a young kid, isn't it? Can't hear you. I don't know if it's...
Yeah, I've just seen Laurie Whitwell as well. £64 million plus 8 in add-ons, total of £72 million if possible. Yeah, it's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of fucking money, and it's a risk. It's a definite risk. But I think you have to trust Ten Hag. Like, all transfers are a risk at the end of the day. Like, 70 million for Casemiro at age 30 was probably a risk, but that's worked out quite well. Been one of our best players for the thing. How much did we end up paying for Lissandro? 50 million euros?
50
Definite risk. Seems to have paid off pretty much. Seems to have absolutely nailed it. Anthony, however, 90 million. Yet to be seen. Yet to be seen what happens. So it's just the nature of transfers. Sometimes you pay it and it pays off. Sometimes you overpay and it's a flop. It's just the nature of transfers. I read a book. I can't remember. It was like, what the price of football, but it was like the stats, something to do with like price point versus like success and stuff like that. And if anything, when you look at like over 50 million, the rate of success goes dramatically down, because then people feel like they have to hit a certain level to attain, and they don't know. But I think it's like 1 in 3 succeed out of like over 50 million, which is not a great start. But he's young. What is he, 19, 20?
No, I think it's a little bit 20. I think he's about 20, 21.
Right, so he's not in his prime yet. We've got him for 5-6 years. He's going to enter his prime with us under a great coach. I'd be a lot more happier, say, if we got another striker in, like a seasoned striker, like a Kane or someone like that. I think that would be ideal for him to learn and to integrate in the team, because now there's a lot of pressure on his head, because it's going to be him and Rashford as the strikers, I imagine. That's a lot of pressure on this kid, and costing this much. I know he's a United fan and he wanted to come here. He turned down PSG to come here, so I will support him all the way and I'll back him 100%, but it's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of fucking money.
Well, one thing that's evident in it was when we played Madrid. I know we've needed a striker for a while, and we've kind of had Vegas to deal with for like fucking 6 months or whatever it's been. But against Real Madrid, we got into the final third, and Rashford was just an absolute ghost. Like, he couldn't seem to function in that role. He's far better on the left, in my opinion. And I think he's good as a striker, but only in certain games when we played Liverpool's, Arsenal's, these kind of things. I think when Hojlund comes in, he's going to be that perfect link-up player. When you've got a transition, he's very quick in that, like, very fast-paced player. He's not wasteful with his shots in and around the box. Like, I think his expected XG, in terms of his actual goals, is like right up there with some of the best strikers in Europe at the minute. So if you take all of them stats, it's great. But one thing to consider as well is, I think the kid's only got like, I've mentioned this numerous times before, he's only got like 44 goals in his whole career. I think like 15 of them came in like under 19s or something. So he's far from seasoned. He's going to be very raw, and he's going to need a lot of kind of tactical work around him. But Ten Hag seems to be that kind of perfect guy to just blend him into the team. So hopefully he'll work out. But I just don't want too much pressure on his shoulders, because when you come to a club like Manchester United, if he's 20, 21, and they say to you, go lead the line as number 9, it's a lot of fucking pressure in it. That's the issue. So I hope it just doesn't crumble him. I hope he's got the right mentality, and you kind of wish that he has that presence and that attitude to kind of deal with that, because you need Manchester United. Have we got any comments in the chat, Sam?
Yeah, chat is going mental, absolutely mental. Love it. I love to see it. Tim99, very happy. Concerned we still need that world-class striker. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Excuse me. Brian Casey, great to see Nick taking time out of his busy schedule running the Empire to come on the live. There you go.
Mate, honestly, I'm at my mate's house at the minute. I've had quite a few drinks, I think it's fair to say. Yeah. So, in all things considered, I think I'm doing it all right, to be honest.
Yeah, Tommy is reminding us that you got to remember it's in euros. He's Manchester United all over. Absolutely. Marky is saying, never heard of him. Fair enough. Aaron saying, massively overpaid. Paid like it, feel like it's a risk, but he's a United player, so now I'll definitely be rooting for him. Anonymous Michael saying he'll wear either 15 or 11. If Fred has moved along quickly before a completion deal, he could take the 17. So there you go. Dan, for that sort of money, I would have been going for Mawani. It's like, yeah, I mean, we could have gone for either. Brian Casey, Eric obviously sees what we can add to the squad to not back down and get him in. I have a feeling he'll bang 20 goals this season. If he could bring 20 goals, I'm happy with that.
What?
Happy with that.
I don't expect.
I don't expect
like 12 to.
Yeah, I don't expect that. Aaron, something gives me a bad feeling about the signing. I don't know why. Gray is saying he might take that pressure on the chin and bang on, but we'll see. We got to be confident. Henry Jones is singing "Viva Rasmus" here. I'm absolutely all about that. So, and then Shah Sam, I don't mind the price, but we needed a striker desperately. I understand the desperation for a striker, and I understand that, yeah, we absolutely did need one. It's been evident for fucking since last season, really. But it's a lot of money for an untapped potential striker for me. That is a lot of money, and I'm just a bit worried. Jale, we got a striker. It was costly, but we still got him. There is so many clubs looking for strikers, and they're all expensive. Yeah, I said that, absolutely. And then Brian is saying, Amrabat next. I hope so. I hope that's the next one. And then he said, late bid for Kane, question mark. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but I don't think it's going to happen. But maybe.
That would be the ideal scenario when it's done, like having Kane and Hojlund in the same team, because Kane's 30 years old. He's got guaranteed goals. I think for the past 10 years, he's scored 17 plus in the Premier League, which is just absolutely fucking mental. So you get him for a couple of years, 2-3 years, whatever, and he's like the seasoned striker who's guaranteeing you goals. And then Hojlund kind of dovetails him. You know, you grow him into that role, learns from Harry Kane, and then he could be your number 9 for the next, God knows, 5-6 years or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. It's always the good combination of having an experienced player in that particular position and also a young player who can learn from the experienced person. So that's where it should work as a club. That's where also we are overseeing Casemiro and Maino positioning as well, where Maino can learn from Casemiro. So that same is demanded from my side personally from that for that striking role as well, because when Cavani was here, even we were expecting if we get some young striker, then Cavani can help him to learn. Even that we thought about Greenwood also when he could learn from Cavani. But now we think that we see that now Hojlund is there, but he do not have any. I mean, like a role model or the person to whom he can see and learn from. But yeah, that's always a gamble to have a young striker. I don't think he has the lot of goals that he can prove his price tag at this moment, but nobody knows that what will come out of Hojlund, so that there's just a hope. So paying this 70 million, I think now the club has moved the fans to that level of extent where we are not concerned about overpaying players. We are just concerned like just let get in someone for the striker role. But yeah, I think, but still, it's gonna be a thing. But to be honest, now at this point, when I think back and look at the situation, now we have got Hojlund without selling players. Now, if we sell players, we may generate some amount for Amrabat, but then again, we need to sell more players to generate money for Kane. So that's looking like to be impossible for us. But I think Amrabat will be the last signing for us in this season.
Yeah. We'll speak a little bit about Amrabat very shortly, but I think when Atlanta bought him, he was like 15 million quid. So they've just sold him for 4 times the amount of that. So they're obviously going to be happy about that. They've already reinvested in the striker, spent about 20 million euros, I think. So that's just almost pure profit for them. But look, he's a United fan as well, which is huge. He obviously wants to play for the club. I think that's one thing I've noticed about all 3 players who have signed. Onana worked with Tanag before, so he's happy to come in and play for Manchester United. Mason Mount wanted to move to United, even though there's interest from Arsenal and Liverpool. And then you've got Rasmus as well, who's obviously a massive fan and turned down the route to PSG. So that's huge in terms of scouting and players that you want to bring in. I don't know how many people's in the chat, but leave a like on the video for us. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I think we're on 2,000. What are we on, Sam, at the minute? 800?
2,882.
82, so 18 off 2,900. So if you are new to the channel, you're buzzing about this, here we go with Rasmus Hojlund, and do subscribe to the channel. Have you got any words, Tommy, about the signing? Because you're a big boy. Give me a couple of words. I'll get you a couple of words just about this Rasmus Hojlund deal. And bear in mind monetization and stuff. So
Rasmus Hojlund, he's a Manchester United fan. He always has been, yeah, and he's mustard, and he will, yeah. He's like what he's like a young Cavani.
Yes.
He's like a young Cavani.
Love it.
Yeah.
You hate yourself, he's off it.
Yeah. He's like a young Cavani. Literally, he's like a dog with the bone, and he'll be amazing.
Yeah.
So that's all I've got to say.
And also, he owes me a tenner now because we made a deal. I said,
Here we go.
Here we go today. He's like, no, it's going to happen tomorrow. So I've also made money from it as well. So after days.
Yeah, but I told him about Rasmus Hojlund about 6
months ago. He scouted him a while ago.
6 months ago. So
yeah. Fair play to you.
Just
Nice.
gonna say to Dan and all the rest of the boys, Shiraz.
Shreyas.
Treyas. I like the way you're doing it for India and I like the other boys.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, mate.
Peace.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you to our Manchester correspondent, Tommy. There we go.
Correspondent Tom Sullivan live from Worsley. Have we got any more comments in the chat, Sam?
Yeah, a couple. Jale, Ten Hag got his man. Let's go. Let's get Amrabat next. Anything more be a bonus. I'm happy with this transfer window. Gray is saying, Dan, I think some of that money is spoken for with Hojlund. I think not you, Dan, but Dan in the chat.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Brian Casey, couldn't have said it better myself. There you go. Jale, wasn't there some rumour Cavani was going to be hired to teach our strikers how to score goals? I did not see that, but I mean, you could think of worse people, couldn't you? I think he's just gone to Boca, hasn't he? Boca Juniors recently.
Yeah.
Abebe, Deliso, what about Amrabat to United? No news on that yet, but we'll see what happens. Like, hopefully now we sell players, we'll get them in. Gray is saying that boy Tommy deserves a beer. I think he's had too many. I think that's the issue.
Yeah,
he doesn't need more. He doesn't need more beers. Yeah, but he's a good lad. But yeah, I'm just checking if there's any news out on any more news on like the sort of.
Seems like today is a good day when you see Hojlund deal completed and also see that Martial is back in training.
Yeah, just give it about 3 weeks, Dan, and then he's going to be injured. Don't worry. You fucking over.
Play like 10 minutes towards the end of the game, and then you can kind of rotate him. Do you know what I mean? So,
but I've just seen a really on the point you touched on before, Nick. Like Paddock have just put a really interesting tweet. Hojlund, Mount, Onana aren't just random players or big names. They're players signed specifically because they fit Erik Ten Hag's style of play. Man United are finally putting a manager's philosophy over shirt sales.
Yeah,
that's what it's about, man.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, that's how it should be. I think we're all in. Look, the price tag could have been a little bit shorter, but when I saw rumours of like £40 million or £50 million, I was like, that's probably about right for the market at the minute and what players are going for. When you start getting a little bit over that, that's when you're like, I don't know, because it is a big risk.
When Declan Rice is going for 105 million and Brighton are turning it down 80 million bids for Casido and stuff like that, like the market is just, it's mental right now. Like there is no
strikers is premium, right?
Exactly.
I don't know anyone for 60, 70 million right now who would fit the system as well as Rasmus Hojlund.
But when you've got Harry Kane, who's in the last year of his contract, age 30, and Spurs are demanding 100 million for a guy in the last year of his contract at age 30, you know the market has gone to like absolute madness, because that no way should that be his price. Like it shouldn't be his price.
Absolutely, agreed. Do leave a like on the video, like I said before, for Rasmus Hojlund if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to become a Real Red Ultra member, it's getting bigger and bigger now for exclusive content every week. Imagine it's name and a chance to feature on the show. Make sure you click the link in the description and become a part of that. Just drop the Amrabat video. Was it today, this morning?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this morning that was dropped. So people who are looking for a little bit of insight and tactical analysis on Amrabat, that is, that dropped this morning. Very quickly on Amrabat, that kind of deal lies on Fred and Donny van de Beek leaving, and there's been a little bit of news about Donny to Sociedad. So Real Sociedad are actively working to sign Donny van de Beek for Manchester United. Negotiations are ongoing, still no agreement on forming of the deal in personal terms. Talks continue. Man United wait for Donny and Fred to leave and then push for Amrabat. Are you unhappy about a loan? Because it seems like a kind of way to increase his value in it. Like, what else are we supposed to do?
Like, nobody's going to buy him, are they? Well, if they are, they're not going to buy him for anything like above 5 million, are they? Because he's been injured or underwhelming for most of his Manchester United career and had one good game here and there and never stringed it together more than like 2 games together in a row. Like one game he'll look great and then next game he'll be completely missing and do nothing, and then he's injured. So you're not going to get any money for him. But if you say he can go out to Sociedad and we aren't paying his wages, because that, I think I'm sick of that shit, us loaning and just paying their wages. Like, what's the point? I think if we can loan him, they pay his wages, and then he has a great season for Sociedad, then maybe that increases his value and we get a bit of money. Maybe we put an option to buy or something like that. Maybe we can do that. I feel sorry for Donny. I do, because I really wanted it to work. I thought he was a quality player for Ajax. and he was absolute class
Yeah.
when he played in the Champions League, especially when I saw him. And I thought 35 million, absolute brilliant price. I thought this guy's going to be great, and then it just didn't happen, did it? Sadly, and he needs football. He needs first team football first of all. So
I just don't think he suits the Premier League, does it? I think it's simple as that for me. He's a little bit flaky. But if we can move on these players, Dan, you can move on to Fred for I don't know how much. I mean, if we end up selling him to Galatasaray for 10 million, I think that's fucking ridiculous, to be honest with you. But if we can sell Fred and then you can move on Donnet, would you be happy bringing in someone like an Amrabat? Have you watched much of him? Are you a fan of him?
Yeah, definitely, because Amrabat looks like a very promising player and who can play in different roles, especially with the CDM or the number 8 role also. So we need that kind of a player for a backup for Casemiro. I know Mino was the one I believed in, but he's still too young to be trusted for the whole season for a backup. But like having Amrabat in the team just like increases the standards of our bench, especially because last season we didn't had that standard type of the level of players coming out from the bench. Those were all like when you look towards the bench, you see McTominay, Fred, these kind of players whom you cannot demand much. But now you have Amrabat on the bench and Mino on the bench, and these type of players. Then definitely Ericsson also will be playing on the bench. So definitely there's a very good level of upgrade in the bench. But selling Fred for 10, I think maximum we can get 12. If we get 12, we would be very lucky to have. But to be honest, if Donny is going out on loan, I'm totally against that. Better keep him in the club and use him at some place. Still he can be used in the season, at least on the bench. He can still provide us some quality from the bench. Then you have a couple of more players in Henderson, who is still hanging in the air. And then you have the player in McTominay also. It seems like he will be also going out. So like you still can generate somewhere around 50 to 60 million. And Amrabat will cost somewhere around 30-35 max, because I know that even if he is being quoted as 25-30, I know with Manchester United it will still go till 35. But still you have like 25 to 30 million in the bank. Maybe you can spend somewhere in the defense area, because midfielder is complete. If Amrabat comes in, midfield is complete. Striker, I don't think we still can generate that much of amount to get a good striker. But yeah, with Amrabat in the team, if you see like Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, Ericsson, Mino, Casemiro, Amrabat. So you have 6 players and 3 attackers. Three attacking-minded midfielders and 3 defense-minded midfielders. So that's your midfield is totally sorted for your next 4-5 years. Then again, I think that would be the one. But now we have to look out for how we can sell the players efficiently.
I think the dynamic has slightly changed now, on it, Sam, because with Kobe Mainoo's injury, I think they mentioned that he'd be ruled out for the first part of the season. What that means, I have absolutely no idea. I don't know if you took anything from that personally, but are you a little bit worried in that sense? Because maybe they might want McTominay to stay and look selling for that 45 million just to cover the first part of the season.
It's a weird situation, isn't it? Because we saw Kobe Mainoo start in the beginning of the preseason, and he looked excellent. Looked like he played that position for years. Like his maturity and his level was like absolutely fantastic. And I was really looking forward to him playing against Real Madrid, like a top side. See how he did. And it's just a shame that it ended the way it did, like very shortly. He left on it with a boot on his foot, and we all felt the worst. And now it's been confirmed he's pretty much done for the first part of the season, whatever that means. Whether that's 3 games, 4 games, I'm not sure. Like they've not.
I don't know what.
Yeah, so, but we'll see what happens. I don't think that's the last you're going to hear of Kobe Mainoo. I think he will be, like, Ten Hag clearly has plans for this guy. He clearly wants to integrate him into the team well and like fully. So I fully expect him to see in him a lot more games next season than he did last season. Would they keep Scott McTominay? Probably, because we need that cover. It looks like Fred is going out. Whether that's Galatasaray, I know Saudi Arabia, I know Fulham are interested. There was that thing about Lazio apparently, but then the manager was like, I don't want him, which is bizarre for a manager to say. Go, no, I don't want him. So yeah, there's some options there for Fred to go. So I imagine that'll happen. if West Ham came in with like a 40 million to 45 million bid for Scott McTominay, I'd find it hard to imagine that United would say no to that and not just use that to go get Amrabat. Like, I think that's the solution there. And then you've got Kobe Mainoo, you've got Ericsson. Maybe then Donny sticks around. Maybe, because then we've got that other person, because then you got Amrabat and Casemiro who are going to play the defensive option. You got Ericsson, Donny, Mount, Amrabat and Bruno for those other positions, because they can all play multiple positions in different sort of systems and stuff like that. And then Mainoo as well. So I think you'd be all right there. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I'd love to see Amrabat at the club. I think he's the exact profile we want. Great cover, can play in the first team, but he's also a great backup player, multiple positions, versatile, which is what Ten Hag wants. Loads of comments in the chat. Let me just rattle through them and then we'll jump off. Your place in the Cosmos Grey saying there's no such thing as too many drinks. Wash your mouth out, Sam. There you go. I'm sure Tommy would agree. Martial would never be fit to take his chance. That's Brian Casey. Rashi 10. There are other strikers who are cheaper and better. This is why the club calls us United Tax. Name one, Rashi. Name one that's cheaper and better, because I can't name one. He then said Vlahovic, who's miles better and cheaper. I don't think he would be cheaper. I think he'd cost us 70 million.
Very quick, Vlahovic has got the exact same goal scoring record as Rasmus Hojlund in Serie A, so that's nonsense.
Also, it's Juve, so it's going to cost us 70 million plus. Like, it will. Yeah. Like, that's just what'll happen. Brian Casey, top contact lads, well worth signing up to be a Reds Vulture. See, that's an OG real Reds Vulture there. He's telling you. Yeah. So you know it's good stuff. Jalame, this is a strange thing. Not many clubs wanted Vlahovic. I know Bayern looked in, but they're going for Kane instead. Yep. Aaron being very harsh. Sociedad are getting themselves a great ball boy. Bit harsh.
Oh, he has got it in for Donny. Much like my mate over there as well. He doesn't like Donny.
Henry, I'm not being funny, but he could have stayed and gone to City for 100 million and banged with Haaland, but we've got a man for positive half of what we'd have to buy him for next year. Yeah, you could look at it like that. Shah Sam, in my opinion, a fit Donny's better than Ericsson. Such a shame he can't get fit. I think I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
Yeah.
Fair enough. The Fortress, we should be happy we bought a striker for whatever price. Enjoy it. At least he'll be better than Weghorst. That's a good point. He will be better than Weghorst.
Yeah, let's be honest.
The most important thing, Ten Hag wanted him, good enough for me, from Brian Casey. He won't just shock certain fans. I'm thinking he'll shock the whole Prem. That's from Gray. Aaron saying it's a weird one. I think Fred offers more than McTominay. I agree, Aaron. I agree. Absolutely, totally agree. We said this yesterday as well, didn't we, Nick? We talked about this. Aaron, keep Donny to work the kiosk on match days. No one serves a pie as good. Fucking hell, Aaron, mate. Let him alone. He's already dead. Jesus. Hani Ascari. Oh, Hani Ascari. It's been a while since I've seen your name. It's good to see you. Should United go for Amrabat because Mainoo is out for the season? I don't think he's out for the season. I just think he's out for the first part of the season. So I think he'll be...
Just very quick on Amrabat, I mentioned it before, but there's new people obviously coming into the chat all the time. Dropped a video on Amrabat this morning for the members. If you want to become a member, click the link in the bio. Exclusive content every week. Legends name, chance to feature on the show. So make sure you jump on that if you can.
And then Amy Rourke, who's a real Reds Ultra. How do you would have Red for Devils? Very funny, Aaron. It's the shout out to Amy as well, who's also a real Reds OG. Appreciate you.
Yeah. To basically summarise, I think Eric Ten Hag's got 3 players in that he really, really wanted. Maybe Harry Kane was his first choice, but Rasmus was definitely in the mix, and he's got 3 of them now. And potentially all of them could play pre-season. Mount obviously already has, Onana has. I think looking at the time scale of things, maybe he can play, not against Dortmund on Monday, but I think he could play after that, maybe against Lens or Bilbao. Yeah. I'm sure he'll be featuring, and they're ready for the start of the season. So that's positive, because last year it was just Malacia won it on pre-season tour. So I'm personally very happy about it. I'm sure the lads are. And let's see what other business we can do now. I know we spent 160 million?
Yeah,
I think so far on 3 players. But I'm happy. I think as well. Just very quickly give us a rating so far. What do you think the 3 players that have come in? What would you rate that out of 10 so far in terms of what we've done?
I would say at the minute 6.5. If we get Amrabat, that pushes it to a 7.5. If we got Kane on top of that, that's a 9. Like
straight up 9. Yeah. Agreed. Dan, would you be a bit more polite?
I would give somewhere around 7.5 to 8. I was giving this because we have Mino now in the team. I mean, even though he's injured now, but he's like a new signing for us. But yeah, if we get a striker and Amrabat, then definitely I can give some like 10 out of 10. If we get Kane and Amrabat, if we get Amrabat, then I can give somewhere around 8.5. But if we are getting Kane, then final 10.
This is obviously going to depend on sales, isn't it? So we'll see what happens with that. Of course, this is a very kind of freestyle setup, usual surroundings, but given all things considered, I think it's done relatively well. Yeah, big up everyone. I hope you all enjoying your weekend. Make sure you leave a like in the video for us. Subscribe to the channel because Rasmus Hojlund is signed for Manchester United. Here we go. Yeah, anything else? Follow us on socials, become a member, click the join button next to the notification bell, and I think we'll see you in the next one. Yeah.
Yeah. Henry's just said Kane finally won a trophy. They won the Tiger Cup. So there you go.
No, I'm not doing it.
It's nothing on the. It's nothing on this the Bangkok Century Cup, is it? There's nothing on that.
Nothing on that. I can't play the capybara usual to players out. So,
Dan, can you play it? You've got the soundboard, haven't you?
Yeah, drop it on there. Pick up the soundboard if you can, and we'll just get your capybaras in the chat, and we'll drop it. Wait for it.
You got
no
it,
pressure, Dan.
You're asking me to play?
Yeah. If I do it, it comes up on the screen, and it just shows everybody's information.
Soundboard. It'll say capybara. We're relying on you here.
Hold on. If not, I can do it. There's another way I can do this. Hold on. Is it on YouTube?
Tensions. It's going to be very long doing that.
There we go. What's this?
Right.
I've got it. I got it. Dan, don't worry.
No, even I can.
Right. Do you want to sign us off, Nick, and then I'll play this, and then we'll end it because this goes on for a minute, so they get a full minute of the capybara song.
Okay. Well, big up everyone for tuning in. Obviously, it is Saturday night. Is it Saturday night or Friday night? Saturday? Yeah, Saturday night. I don't know what day it is. It is Saturday. That's how many drinks I've had. It's Saturday night, so big up everyone for joining. Appreciate you probably busy or out and doing stuff. But yeah, Rasmus Hojlund is signed for Manchester United. So absolutely buzzing. Can't wait to see him play in a United shirt. And yeah, thank you to the lads. Thank you for everyone tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.
Capybaras in the chat, everybody.